We're here at what used to be called Friendship Park. I'm not sure what they're going to name it now. We're here at the very moment that they are pretty dramatic. They're putting in the posts, the support posts for the secondary barrier to go through the middle of Friendship Park. And their Friendship Park is at the U.S.-Mexico border, at the very westernmost part of the border. You can see over here is the Pacific Ocean, and I was here on Sunday 2 days ago. Today is Tuesday, April 7th, 2009, and when I was here on Sunday, they had barely reached with these posts the eastern edge of this mesa, and they're now probably more than halfway through the park here with these posts. I can get a closer view of the posts here. So they're putting in a cement foundation, and they're putting in these metal posts here. And this truck is right in front of the historical monument. See if I can get a better shot from a different angle. There you go. So yeah, you can see there between the two trucks that's the historical monument at the U.S.-Mexico border. That was the border was established there in 1849, and that marker indicates that, and around that marker there's a cement circle that encompasses both countries, where people can come together, or could come together, and make friends through the corrugated fence there. And there is no access to that area anymore. There's no question about that. There's no argument. There's no debate. It has been decided by Department of Homeland Security that there is no access to that area. It doesn't mean that in the future there can't be. There may be talks about it in the future, but as of right now, there are no talks about it. That is the decision that has been made, and I'm positive of that. I've been told that by the person himself who made the decision, the Chief of Border Patrol, Mike Fisher. And so there's no doubt in my mind that there is no access to this area. Well, no access allowed. To the public. What angers me, what upsets me about that is that organizations, families, the public in general, we're not conferred on this. We're not asked what their opinion was. The people that represent the public that comes here, the people that pay these supposedly public servants salary, were never asked. We're never involved in the process. We're never involved in the process as far as will there be access to this area or not. They say that it was a hard decision for them because they know that they've prohibited innocent activity from going on here, as well as criminal activity. But I don't know if I can believe them that they feel that way, because if they really felt that way, they would have involved the public in the process and got their perspective. They only used the Border Patrol perspective. They didn't bother to find out anyone else's perspective. Or if they did hear it, they just ignored it and did what they wanted. You can see in the distance there some kids on the Mexican side, and they're looking at the binational garden that was planted in 2007 by Border Meetup. Well, there was a Border Meetup event, and there was environmental organizations and students on both sides of the border that got together and built a binational garden of native plants. And it's since then, earlier this year in February, been uprooted on the U.S. side. I talked with the sector chief about that, and there was once again no consideration as to our perspective or why there was a need for a binational garden, and he even explained that the reason was because it might get in the way of the construction, it might get in the way of agents doing their duty. I came up with several solutions to that as far as how agents can continue to execute their duties without the park getting in the way, without the garden getting in the way. I told them that if it's only 3 feet away from the fence and about 8 feet wide, or it was. I told them that if there's ever a need to pursue criminals or legal activity, and the garden is in the way, run over it. It's okay. And I don't have a problem with that, and I'll even put it in writing. But that wasn't, he didn't tell me why that wasn't a good idea. He didn't tell me why that wouldn't work. He just said, that won't work. We can't do that. And so I talked with his boss, because at that point I thought maybe I could talk to Agent Corley and get that straightened out, or come to some kind of agreement, but I couldn't. So I talked to his boss, Agent Scott, who was very willing to talk to me and very willing to discuss things, and even philosophical points of view about the border and what have you, and immigration and so on. And we ended our conversation with him saying that I'll check into that and see what I can do. Maybe there's a chance that we can figure something out. That was a couple months ago, and nothing has come of it. However, I do plan to continue to pursue that and see if something can come of it. His channels of communication are still somewhat open. I don't know what that is. I know that I've explained what that is, but I don't know what that rectangular thing is there. I asked a little earlier, there were some construction workers that were kind of just standing here, and I asked them if I could ask them a question, and they said, no, we can't talk to you, or we can't answer any questions. And they were a little bit defensive about it. They said, if you have a problem, go to the office, the main office. And I told them I don't have a problem, I just wanted to ask a question. But they didn't want to talk to me.